You shouldn't make a living doing what you love. What we need instead is a commitment to deliberate practice, to spending an enormous amount of time on the right endeavor. I know that many of us have been told that we should follow our passions and make a living doing what we love. But what if I told you that this might not be the best advice? In fact, it might be holding you back from finding true fulfillment in your career. Today, I want to share with you why finding your passion isn't enough and why you shouldn't make a living doing what you love. Let me start by telling you a story about a young woman named Emily. Emily was a recent college graduate who had always loved writing. She had dreams of becoming a successful novelist and had even published a few short stories in literary magazines. But despite her talent and passion for writing, Emily was struggling to make ends meet. She was working in a series of low-paying jobs and couldn't seem to catch a break. Emily was feeling discouraged and wondered if she should give up on her dreams of becoming a writer. It was at this point that Emily stumbled upon the work of Anders Ericsson, a psychology professor at Florida State University. Ericsson had spent his career studying the habits of top performers in various fields, from musicians to athletes to chess players. And what he found was surprising. It wasn't talent or luck that made these individuals successful, but rather the amount of time they spent practicing their craft. Ericsson called this deliberate practice, and he found that it was the key to developing expertise in any field. Emily was fascinated by Ericsson's research and decided to put his theory to the test. She began setting aside time each day to write, even on days when she didn't feel like it. She challenged herself to write more than she ever had before, and she sought out feedback from other writers. And slowly but surely, Emily began to see improvement in her writing. Her stories became more polished, and she started to gain recognition in the literary community. Within a few years, Emily had published her first novel, and it was a bestseller. So, what can we learn from Emily's story? Well, first and foremost, we need to stop relying on the idea of finding our passion. Passion is fleeting and can change over time. What we need instead is a commitment to deliberate practice, to spending an enormous amount of time on the right endeavor. As Ericsson found, the difference in ability is the difference in practice time. It's not about doing what we love, but about working hard to develop our skills. But how do we find the motivation to keep practicing, even when it gets tough? This is where Emily's story can teach us a valuable lesson. She didn't practice because she enjoyed it. In fact, many days she found it tedious and frustrating. But what kept her going was the knowledge that she was improving. By setting specific goals, challenging herself, and seeking feedback, Emily was able to see tangible progress in her writing. And that progress was what kept her motivated, even when she didn't feel like writing. In conclusion, I'll leave you with this thought. Finding your passion isn't enough. If you truly want to excel in your career, you need to commit to deliberate practice. You need to be willing to put in the time and effort required to develop your skills. And you need to find the motivation to keep going, even when it gets tough. But if you can do these things, if you can commit to the journey of deliberate practice, then you will find true fulfillment in your career. Thank you for watching, and to subscribe my channel. See you next time. Do you find yourself unable to make a decision, stuck between two options, unable to choose? It happened to the best of us. But the truth is, indecision is a decision in itself. It's a decision to stay in the same place, to not move forward. Remember, making a choice doesn't have to be permanent. If it doesn't work out, you can always choose again. But you never know what could happen if you don't take that first step. So, go ahead. Make that choice. You've got this. I believe you do well. How there? If you're watching this, chances are you've recently failed at something, and that's okay. Failure is a part of life, and it's how we learn and grow. The truth is, even the most successful people in the world have failed countless times. But what separates them from others is how they handle their failures. So what can you do? Well, when you fail, first take a moment to acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to feel disappointed, sad, or frustrated. Allow yourself to feel those emotions, but don't let them control you. Next, take a step back and analyze what went wrong.